Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, Total World Victory of Hari Krishna. Welcome back to another Bhagavad Gita class given by your lovely host, Prahlad, me. And today we are doing Bhagavad Gita 4.8. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. Wrong one. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataḥ tyaktvā deham punar naiti mam iti soruja rjuna rjuna janma birth karma work cha also me of mine divyam transcendental evam like this anyone who vetti knows tat tatv- tattvataḥ in reality tyaktvā leaving aside deham this body punar again janma birth na never et does attain mam unto me et does attain sa he Arjuna o Arjuna. Translation: one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord's descent from his transcendental abode is already explained in the 6th verse. One who can fully understand the truth of the appearance state of the personality of Godhead is already liberated from material bondage, and therefore he returns to the kingdom of God immediately after quitting his present material body. Speaking of the appearance of the personality of Godhead, it is Janmashtami this week coming. So it'll be exciting. We'll be up in Whangarei for that. So a little bit of a trip up north. It's about 9 hours. No, 10, maybe 12, including stops and stuff. So yeah, be a whole trip. But yeah, such liberation of the living entity from material bondage is not at all easy. The impersonalists and the yogīs attain liberation only after much trouble and many births. Even then, the liberation they achieve, merging into the impersonal brahmajyoti with the Lord, is only partial, and there is a risk of returning again to this material world. But the devotee, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attains the abode of the Lord after ending this body and does not run the risk of returning again to this material world. In the Brahma-saṁhitā, it is stated that the Lord has many forms and incarnations. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadin, ananta-rūpam. Although there are many transcendental forms of the Lord, there are still one and the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. One has to understand this fact with conviction, although it is incomprehensible to mundane scholars and empiric philosophers, as stated in the Vedas. Scroll down. Eko devo nitya lil aryurakto bhakta vyapi hardi ananta-rūpam. The one Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many transcendental forms in relationships with his unalloyed devotees. This Vedic version this Vedic version is confirmed in the verse of the Gita personally by the Lord. He who accepts the truth of the strength of the authority of the Vedas and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who does not waste time in philosophical speculations, attains the highest perfectional stage of liberation. Simply by accepting the truth on faith, one can without a doubt attain liberation. The Vedic version, tattvā masai, tattvā masi, tattvāmasi, is actually applied in this case. Anyone who understands Lord Krishna to be the supreme, or who says unto the Lord, "You are the same supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead," is certainly liberated instantly, and consequently, his entrance into the transcendental association of the Lord is guaranteed. In other words, such a faithful devotee of the Lord attains perfection, and this is confirmed by the following Vedic assertion. Tam eva viditvati mrityumeti na nai anata vidyate anyan aya. Whew, that's a long. It's got one really long word. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no alternative because anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is surely in the mode of ignorance. Consequently, he would not attain salvation. Simply, so to speak, by licking the outer surface of the bottle of honey or by interpreting the Bhagavad-gita according to mundane scholarship. Such empiric philosophers may assume very important roles in the material world, but they are not necessarily eligible for liberation. Such puffed up mundane scholars who have to wait for their causeless such puffed up mundane scholars have to wait for the causeless mercy of the devotee of the Lord. One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge, and in this way attain perfection. Whew. Bit of a long purport. Looking at the differences. Um, so risk of returning again has been changed to, and there is a risk of returning to this material world. And it says risk of returning again to this material world. And then it's been changed to risk of returning to this material world. So the word again has just been gotten rid of. And then the next little part, the reference to the specific Brahma-saṁhitā verse is being added. So where did it say here? Original both times. Coming back again. Returning again is redundant. Oh, where is that? Returning again. Risk of coming back again. And there is a risk of coming back again. I think. And there is a risk of returning to the material world, returning again. There is a risk of coming back again to this material world. Coming back again. What is that here? Original birth times. Coming back again. Returning again is redundant. So you got rid of again. Interesting. Is it different here? Where is it? Run the risk of returning to no. Okay, well, I find that a bit strange. In the manuscript, it says coming back again, and then In the original edition, it says returning again, and then they've changed it to just returning. So technically not going closer to the manuscript. Yeah. Even though it does say original coming back, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. As stated in the Vedas, and then it goes on with the quote, has been changed, well, no, it's been added, as stated in the Vedas, Purusa Bodhi Upanishad. Um, yeah, I guess they've added the, specific, uh, quote, or the specific Upanishad that it's from. Um, un they've added a hyphen in this, Sanskrit, which, I keep forgetting what doing that is called. Mm. But anyway, it's like, changing, around the way that you read it. So, ananta-rūpam. It I find that easier to read than this. This is just a whole it's like, where do you, stop in the middle of the word? But here it's more in the second edition, it's more, noticeable. I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So, the next change is the same thing. They've actually, I gotta zoom out. It's not showing all the text. Sorry. So yeah, it's the same thing. They've changed the long Sanskrit word and they've broken it up. So tattvam asi, and then anyone who says unto. Yeah, so the who and unto technically isn't changes. They've just moved where the location has been. They've done the same thing in the next Sanskrit part. They've broken it up. Viditva, viditvati, mrityam iti. That's a lot easier than reading this. Yeah. Not yanaya, yanaya, anaya, anaya, yanaya. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Um, and then they've added a quote to say that this is a quote. One can attain, yeah. Um, and there's no other way to achieve this perfection. They've also added the specific reference. Um, there, there is no alternative. Oh wait, there is no alternative because anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna has been changed to that. There is no alternative means that anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna. Wait, okay, huh? They've changed. They've changed up the sentence structure. They've added this part, and they've added the reference. Here, it's in the original edition, it was full stop and then consequently, and here, consequently, it goes on, continues on with the sentence. What does it say here? Because I think there's something about that. And the phrase "there is no other way to achieve this perfection" translates Nayana Nanya Pa Nanya Patha Pa Pantha Pantha Vidyate Yanaya. Okay. I think I saw that here too. It does say that. Um, second one. There is no other alternative. Huh. Yeah. So, yeah, that is a change, technically going closer to the original manuscript. But the rest of it, that there is no alternative means, that anyone who does not understand, that's just been added in, I think. No, no, never mind. That there is no alternative means. Anyone cannot understand Lord Krishna. Okay. So yeah, it is going closer to the manuscript. Um, yeah. uh, that's all of the changes. Talking about the actual purport itself, even though it's one of the longer purports, there's not exactly a lot else to add. A little, Prabhupada is a expert at, writing these sort of things, and this is well written. Goes through basically everything needs to go through. Sorry. Needs to go through everything that it needs to go through, and yeah, um, basically, the whole thing just says, um, accepting, uh, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and its multiple, uh, it has multiple forms in it even says it right here. Many forms and incarnations. They're still one of the same with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, um, will get you out of, when you do leave the material world, you won't have to come back. That's what that means. Um, and yeah, it gives a whole bunch of uh evidence and stuff from other Upanishads. And it also says, it talks against let's see if I can find an example. The mundane scholars, the em- yeah, the mundane scholarship, the empiric philosophers. Yeah, it talks against their surface level understanding, I guess you could say, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I guess in association with that, the Bhagavad Gita, not understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or not um accepting it. Yeah, talks against those people who do that. And it does say such empiric philosophers may assume very important roles in the material world, but they're not eligible for liberation. If the wait for the causeless mercy of the devotee. One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge. This is the way to attain perfection. Yeah, pretty pretty good. Well and succinct. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. Um, yeah. Thinking about, or talking about a contemporary application. Um, I've heard that, I'm not sure where it's from, but the state of, or the whatever's on the consciousness at the moment of death is what um you basically attain, or what happens to you. Um and so, always at the moment of death, you should be thinking of Krishna, as that way you won't have to return back to this world. Um and yeah, this verse is talking about that, and just it's further evidence on that point. Not sure where I heard that from. It was somewhere. But yeah, what does it say? One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge. This is the way to attain perfection. There's all devotees are striving to cultivate their Krishna consciousness. Through reading Bhagavad-gita, reading Srila Prabhupada's other books. Um, yeah, going to classes, listening, discussing, chanting, doing all that sort of stuff. Uh, in a way to attain perfection, which is basically the understanding of Krishna consciousness is perfection. Okay, yeah, really like God. Going over to the Tereo section. Let's see. Here we go. Got our friend GPT to pull it out. Is that right? Huh. I don't know why, but I thought just because it was a long purport, this translation would be long, but the translation isn't that long. It's all good. So, kote tangata. Camera turned off. Hello. That is weird. Hmm. The camera has disconnected but not turned off. I apologize. I'm not sure how to change the camera. No. Technical difficulties. Is this? Yeah. Now it's working. That is weird. Anyway, going on with the tereo. Kote tangata I mohio ana anakai taku ahua wakawiti me oku mahi kaore aya ka wanu. It's a fanu fanu ano ai tene tenai tenai a matai enkari ka wiwi ai toku fi ifi. That's not how you say it.
The pronunciation of double H varies a little bit easier.
No, but don't you say the I like an I?
E, wee wee, fifi. You went fi.
Yeah, it's an I.
It's E. A, E, or U.
It's I-E-I-O-U.
No. A-E-I-O-U is English.
Yeah.
A-E-I or U is Spanish, French, I think. Tereo. Fifi. Not fi.
What the
Fi
hell?
both thumb.
Beefy. Why you say that? Is it E?
E. Yeah.
What the? Beefy. E. Toku.
Toku. Because it has a macron, you hold it.
Toku.
Toku.
Yeah, this is not how I pronounce O's. Toku.
Oh, jeez.
Ina.
Kinda.
Yeah, but now you're saying like an I.
If it has an A in front of it, it's complicated. Kinda.
What the hell? Aina.
Kinda. Kinda.
Turoa. E. Arjuna.
Arjuna. E. Okay.
What the hell?
pronunciation. Well, it's different. It's not weird. No more mints. Sorry.
Ko is denotes subject. Te the angata person,
Yep.
individual. E
E.
who that. Mohio
Mohio.
knows, understands. Ana indicating present tense. Ki to about. Aku my. Ahua nature from. Wakawiti transcendental. Me and. Oku my. Mahi activities, actions. Kahore does
Okay.
not, will not. Ia he, she. Ka will to be. Anua born, birth.
Fano.
Fana
Fanua.
does it mean family? N-A-U-A. Nua.
N-A-U.
N-A-U. Nu.
Nua. You think the R is pronounced U?
The R.
R-A-E-O-U. There's an A before the U. So R.
And now.
Fano. Fanao.
Literally, doesn't that mean family?
Mm-hmm.
Bro. Fano. Ano. Again, a new. E. In at. Tenny.
Tene.
Now you pronounce it like an A.
Tene. E-E. Tene. Tene.
Tene.
Tene.
This. World, realm. Matai. Material.
Woo.
Ingari.
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 Oh, N-G-A. Nga.
Inari.
Oh, jeez. Nga.
Yeah, but not how I pronounce it. But however, nah.
Nga.
Yeah,
Can you not do it?
this is not how I pronounce things. But
Right.
however, ka will to be. Ifi attends, receive. E into. Toku my. Kaina abode. Home. To Turoa eternal. E of Arjuna. There we go. That's that done. Going back to the original verse to finish us off. A lot of reading of other languages. Oh man. Janma karma cha me divyam. Evam yo vetti tattvataḥ. Tyaktvā deham punar janma naiti eti rjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode. O Arjuna. There we go. Thank you guys. If you watched live, if you're watching afterwards, thank you. Yeah, if you enjoy any of the content that we do here, give it a like, give it a share, tag your friends, and I'll be see my beautiful face. Yeah, I will be back tomorrow to do 4:10. Yeah, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hare Krishna. Good morning, good evening, or good night. It's a good night for me.